All right, the recent tour to Europe by the Springbok Women's team couldn't have come at a better time. It was an opportunity for Stanley Raubenheimer's team to gauge themselves against the top opposition they'll face at next year's World Cup. My colleague Justin Ford sat down with the coach. Let's take a look.
The Springbok Women's team faced some really tough opposition on the European end-of-year tour. They were touring overseas for the first time in 3 years and played 4 matches.
The whole objective of the tour was to experience what a test week would look like, what touring would look like, what it would feel to be 8 weeks away from home. So our World Cup prep looks at this moment like almost a 16-week away from home. We wouldn't have had that experience if we didn't go on this tour. So from that point of view, it was a great experience for myself personally, but actually for the whole squad, management, players alike.
This tour provided the team with the ideal match preparation.
As you rightly stated there, our big objective was to look at ball carries, was to look at territory and possession, was to look at then if we are successful in our ball carries, do we keep the ball for a longer period of time? Our ball carrying was, I'm very pleased with that our ball carrier. So now the big next thing for us is to work on our support on our ball carriers. The possession and territory stats wasn't that great, so we've realized that from a kicking perspective, we couldn't relieve our pressure, especially when we were in our relief zone, as we call it.
The women's game in South Africa is years behind the other rugby-playing nations. Being a professional outfit comes with certain non-negotiables.
That's actually the biggest building block for us, our conditioning. So the one big box that would tick there was the fact that we could play 4 games. 4 games against very good opposition. Robin, our dietitian, spent time with the group in terms of eating habits. We tried to influence it over this 5 to 6 weeks that we were together. This is how we eat, this is how often we eat. And all those boxes has been ticked. Nazir, our conditioner, has spent time with the team. So our biggest challenge is obviously having time with the group.
The postponed Women's Rugby World Cup kicks off in New Zealand in October next year. Stanley Raubenheimer's team will be working hard to try and close the gap with the world's top teams.
SA Rugby's objective was for this team to take part in the World Cup. Now, we as a group SA, our biggest objective is to go and be competitive at the World Cup. So what does that mean? We've shown that we can compete in this tour. So we're telling ourselves, yes, we might not win, but we will be competitive in each and every game. We are planning on getting together in the end of January for a conditioning camp. I think the players are ready now to be pushed from a conditioning point of view to the next level in terms of our intensity.
In their final match, they faced a strong Barbadian women's team made up of the best women players in the world. The match attracted a record television audience and stadium attendance.
One must be careful when you evaluate your games and understand that 30,000 people at Twickenham, the effect, the noise level, the intensity, the screaming, the echoing of the sound within that cauldron. I feel sorry for some of our players because Cizo, who had a very good tour at 8, just threw balls which he uncharacteristics never do in the normal matches that she's played on tour. You could see the big eyes. You could see Donnell Snyder saying, "Coach, I don't know what to do. I can't hear anything." It would be, and it was, the best experience for our squad.
The big aim for the team now is to organize and play 8 or 9 tests between now and the opening fixture in October at next year's World Cup. Justin Ford, Cape Town.